Honourable Chairperson, Minister and fellow members, it is truly a privilege for me to welcome the Minister to the NCOP today. We are in the midst of an extremely difficult period in our country's young democracy, with an economy that simply isn't moving forward to be able to help address the increasing unemployment. But Honourable Minister, before I get to the budget, I need to state quite clearly that the Select Committee on Economic Development currently has a responsibility to monitor and oversee the work and the budgets of national departments and hold them accountable. This includes the Department of Labour, for which you are responsible. The Select Committees allow members of Parliament to engage with yourself and your department with more time allowances, because in this House the opposition are the only people that's keeping you accountable, since your colleagues from the ANC will only use their time to sing your praises. Honourable Minister, since the start of the 5th Parliament, you have shown that you have zero respect for this House. The work this House has to do through its committees. Not once have you deemed it necessary to attend a meeting for the full duration, that is, if you ever pitch up at all. You are the political head, the person who needs to account not only to Parliament, but also to the Select Committee. Yet you think MPs would be satisfied that you sent all your officials from across the country at an exorbitant cost to the taxpayers. Honourable Minister, we want you to attend and account. You were elected by the people of South Africa. Including the 8.9 million unemployed you seem to disregard by not being accountable to their representatives in Parliament. If you do not have respect for the people's elected representatives, what must we tell the millions of South Africans about you? Under your watch, a myriad of hoops and hurdles businesses need to navigate have not improved. Red tape is preventing the necessary job creation that businesses need to firstly find traction and secondly to get momentum in order to address the crippling unemployment. It is part of your job to help create an enabling environment. It is not something alien to South Africa. It was and it is still being done if you are only willing to listen. No less than 1 kilometre from where you sit, Honourable Minister, there's another MEC Windy, that has an office. This is a shorter distance than what millions of South African learners has to walk to school. You can even get in and you can drive there. Please just don't use the blue lights in this province. The challenge will be whether there's a willingness from your side to listen. Firstly, will there be a willingness to attend a meeting, since your track record in the Select Committee is not showing that there's a willingness? With unemployment that's rising yet again, the CCMA has had its work cut out for them, and it seems it will remain under immense pressure. They are performing rather well despite the current circumstances and need the necessary funding and support to continue their good work. We have said this before and will say so again. The mandate should be expanded to help facilitate workers' decisions as to whether they should go on strike or not, preferably with a secret ballot, because quite often it is an elite few who decide what best suits them and not the people the unions represent. Following from the rising unemployment, the Unemployment Insurance Fund will be put in the spotlight, a spotlight they can ill afford. They are the lifeline for many who have been shoved into the uncertain world of unemployed, yet the UIF is not the beacon of hope. Instead, they are adding to the stress and anxiety by being disorganized, having long waiting times, losing documentation, and another 1,001 excuses for not paying those most in need. The proposed changes are welcome and will be monitored carefully to see whether progress is being made. We are likewise waiting with bated breath to read what the report into the collapse of the Tongaat Mall and the Meyersdal residence will reveal. Job safety and security is of critical importance, and this responsibility similarly falls under your mandate. We are 10 weeks away from one of the most important local government elections, one where South Africans must decide if they want to continue on the current path or change course for the better. The work or lack thereof of your department will also be measured on the 3rd of August. And I can tell you now, Honourable Minister, you will be found wanting. Voters on the 3rd of August will choose a government that is the opposite of what your department stands for. The DA has a track record where we govern Even though we can only take over this department in 2019, just think what this department as part of a DA government could achieve. Create opportunities and new jobs so that people can improve their lives and provide to their families. Being responsive, Minister, to the needs and the concerns of the people it serves, also to the elected public representatives, not just waiting for a crisis, but by having proactive engagements when the people speak. We will listen. Expand nationally on what the DA local governments already do by leading the way in providing quality service delivery to all the residents. And committed to a transparent and accountable governance. Accountable, Minister, that means pitching up at the select committees, amongst other things, and to be an honest government that has zero tolerance for corruption. This is not so far off. South Africans deserve better. The unemployed, the employed, those who have already given up looking for work, as well as those who will enter the job market in the future. The department and this minister is proof that the ANC, as well as the chairpersons of this select committee who fails to hold the minister and the department to account, is proof that the ANC only care about themselves and not ordinary South Africans. I thank you.